99% of law firms in your city are doing SEO completely wrong. The top 1% that are sitting at the top of Google are using a completely different playbook. I've used these moves to take firms from page 3 into the top 3 in 90 days, including one in Rockford that grew calls by over 1,200%. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what they're doing. Let's go. So before I get into the 3 moves that are going to help you start ranking higher on Google, you got to understand why Google Maps matters more than anything else for a law firm. And the best way to do that is through example. So if we look here, personal injury lawyer, New York. Let's just say I got hurt, slip and fall accident, got hit by a truck, God forbid. The first thing that I'm going to do is go into Google and just type in personal injury lawyer, either New York or near me. What's going to happen is I'm going to get a responsive search ad. So this is like a regular Google ad. And then I'm going to get an LSA. So this is like also another ad. It's called local service ad. And then I'm going to see a couple business profiles and then, just organic rankings. This section right here is called the local snack pack or local map pack or what have you. This is really important because 5 to 10% of all clicks for any particular search are going to click either the ad that appears here or the LSA. The rest of them are going to be split between the Google business profiles and the organic results, but 61% of all clicks are going to go to either number 1, number 2, or number 3. That's why this area right here is the most valuable real estate that you could possibly have. And some clients come to me and say, well, why don't I just pay to get to the top? Well, you can pay to get to the top. 1, it's going to be expensive. But 2, if you're ranking really highly through SEO, you can then take up more positions. Just because you're running an ad here doesn't mean that you can't be the number 1 person here as well. So wouldn't you rather want 50% of this as opposed to just having to pay for the ad? That's why it's really, really important that you get your Google Map Pack ranking way more than your website. Your website is important as well, but this is going to drive the vast majority of clicks. So maps is where the clicks happen. And the first thing that the top 1% on Google understand about maps is that your ranking isn't actually one number. Here's what most attorneys don't realize about Google Maps. You get a different ranking depending on where the person searching is standing. If we take a look here, this is like a local rank tracker tool for the keyword divorce lawyer Rockford. This is showing a 100 square mile area around one of my clients' business profiles for the term divorce lawyer Rockford. So what that means is if somebody was standing right here in this sort of area and they typed on Google divorce lawyer Rockford, my client's profile would be number 1. And this is why it's really important. Near me searches happen away from the office. Accidents are going to happen on a highway. Divorce searches are happening at home. DOIs can happen pretty much anywhere. So if you're only ranking at your office, which a lot of firms are, you are losing to the people that are ranking where the people are actually searching. What the top 1% do is build dedicated city and neighborhood pages for every part of the service area. Each page has unique content that's tied to that location. It's not copy pasted templates where you just swap out the city or the township or what have you. Your technical basis for your SEO is optimized as well. You've got a unique H1 with the practice area, neighborhood, and your business name. You're embedding Google Maps of the area and your profile onto the page. You have real local references like courthouses, landmarks, stuff like that. And you're internal linking all of these pages to your main sort of practice area page. All of that is then going to move the needle to make sure that you don't only rank just near you, but like all over. Of course, as you get further and further and further away, your rankings are inevitably going to drop. And that's just the nature of Google search because it's trying to find people who are near them as well. You can't try to rank for divorce lawyer Rockford, but then live in Chicago, like downtown. That's just not possible, and for good reason as well. So that's one thing that we want to keep in mind. Given this, what we can do is build out city pages or neighborhood pages for like Loves Park, Wimbledon, right? Westfield Corners, Cherry Valley, New Milford, etc. These are all places that are on the map. They're not exactly Rockford, but they're the surrounding areas. And then we can use that to rank ourselves where people actually are and where they're searching, which means that when they type in, divorce lawyer near me or divorce lawyer Rockford, we appear. That's the whole goal behind this. All right, real quick. If you'd rather have my team handle this for you instead of doing it all yourself, click the link in the description and book a call. We only take 1 law firm per city per practice area. Most agencies skip this next part because it's tedious and boring, but it's also exactly why their clients are plateaued at positions 7, 10, 12, or even worse. Citations are very important for your business profile. It's not so much important for your organic rankings, but again, we're kind of trying to prioritize our business profiles here. That's why it's really, really important. important. If you're not sure what a citation is, it's just a mention of your NAP, your NAP, your name, address, and phone listed on some other website. It could be ABO, Justia, FindLaw, Martin & Olo, Lawyers.com, Chamber of Commerce, Better Business Bureau, or other sort of local business directories. But every single reference of that back to you is considered a citation. Google will treat them as a trust signal. The more legitimate sites that confirm your firm exists at one location with the exact same NAP profile, the better it is. I see a lot of clients come in where they have like inconsistent NAP profiles because either their phone number changed, their website changed, they got a new partner and then they changed the brand name, but then never bothered to update the citations. So all of that need to be clean and clear so that Google understands who you are, where you are, what your address is, all that good stuff, and then they know, how to rank you. You got to make it as easy as possible for Google. You don't want to rely on them to do any of the heavy lifting because they won't. They just straight up won't, right? It's not efficient for them to then go through to try to aggregate, clean up, normalize everybody's citation rankings for every single potential business across the world. It's just not going to happen. That's why we need to clean those up and we need to have them to existing in the first place. Now, a good way to quickly audit how many citations you have or how many citations the top people have to try to figure out how can I bridge the gap between them and me, it's pretty simple. You just come to Google. What you're going to do is you're going to copy the business profile name that you see exactly. You're going to go to Google, you're going to put quotes, then you're going to paste it in. So what you're going to see in a second is 5,260 results. So there's roughly 5,260 results for this business profile across the internet. That's how many citations they have. Just because you have more isn't necessarily going to guarantee that you're going to beat them, just, as an FYI, but this tells you where are they and where are you. A lot of the firms that I see, they're like, oh, I'm not ranking anywhere. They only have 20, 30, maybe 100, whereas their competitors have thousands. So it's really not just if I have this number of citations, I'm good. It's I need to be in the ballpark range of the top ranked competitors that I'm trying to compete with or beat. So another one, for example, Greenstein and Patari, LLP, right? They've got 4,660. So you can do this for your own business. Just go copy, paste it in, see where you are relative to the people that are top ranked. And that will show you very quickly what is your citation gap. So coming back to your Google business profile section here, another thing that's very important to talk about is the reviews, of course. The citations and city pages get you visible, but there's one more signal that Google weighs heavier than almost anything else, and 99% of law firms are getting it completely backwards. Most attorneys think that reviews are about hitting a number. It's actually about something else. Your total number of reviews is an important metric, but it's nowhere near as important as your review velocity, particularly in 90-day rolling period. So what that means is don't look at the sheer number of reviews that you have or your competitors have and be like, well, if I get to here, I'm going to beat them. That may not necessarily be true. The metric that you should be tracking and trying to improve and to use to benchmark yourself against your competition is actually review velocity. In the last 90 days, how many reviews did my competitors get and how many did I get? That number is much more useful because just because you got a review or 40 or 50, 60, 100 reviews 5 years ago, that doesn't tell Google that, these guys are active, they're taking on new cases, they're closing clients, people are happy with their services, but the recency of your reviews definitely does. There is a recency bias. That's why it's important to not just do like a one-time review push and get 30 or 40 reviews in a month and then stop for a year. The top 1% of firms know that the reviews are about velocity and recency, not just your total count. That's why what they're trying to do is get 5, 10, 20, really depends on how competitive your metro is, new reviews every single month. You have to build out a step in your intake and your case completion follow-up flow where you send them a link to a review, right? You ask them if you're satisfied with service, please feel free to give us a review on Google. It'll help us out a lot. And most people are more than happy to do so, especially if you've helped them out. Don't just email it to them, text them. Maybe call them if you have some free time. That's low-hanging fruit that you can do because you're already closing cases. You might as well get the public recognition from Google for it as well. And of course, it's impossible for you to only have 5-star reviews. That's okay. You need to respond to every single review, whether it's positive or negative, ideally within the first 24 to 48 hours, because that is also a ranking signal. And most firms are actually ignoring it. So if we tie it all together, city pages, citations, the review system, that's how your rankings can compound. And that's how your firm can go from pretty much invisible to the top 3 in 90 days or less, realistically, if you lock in everything across the board. Doing all this is pretty much how I got Vernsten Law as the #1 divorce lawyer in Rockford. Now you just type it in, divorce lawyer Rockford, there's 1,000 searches in a month. He's #1. This is one of my clients. This is what led to a 1,238% increase in phone calls from local SEO, a 289% increase in organic web visitors, 425% increase in Google Business Profile reviews and searches. Before he worked with me, this was his ranking for divorce lawyer Rockford. This is his ranking now. And that's exactly why he's getting all these new calls, he's picking up new cases, and that's exactly what it could be for you as well. If you actually want to rank in the top 3 in your city, click the link in the description and book a call with me. A quick reason on why me. I was a software engineer at major tech companies and building the same algorithms that Google is using to rank businesses. I'm not a marketer who learned SEO from some course. I'm the guy who built the systems that we are now beating. We only work with one law firm per city, per practice area. So if your market is competitive, your spot might already be gone. Book the call.